From our Toronto studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I am Ahmed Ramadan. Failed far-right candidate Valentina Gomez is trying to make a comeback in Texas by launching a virulently Islamophobic campaign. This and more on today's show. Stay tuned. A Justice Department official is being called out for a political attack on New York Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani. Harmeet Dillon is U.S. Assistant Attorney General for the Civil Rights Division. Speaking at the right-wing Israeli newspaper Israel Hayom Summit in New York this week, she accused Mamdani of being an anti-Semitic demagogue. Dillon offered no evidence to support the accusation against Mamdani at the event, which was hosted by Israeli-American billionaire Miriam Adelson, the second largest donor to President Donald Trump's campaign last year. She also claimed Jewish concerns had been ignored under previous administrations, although no independent review has been confirmed. Dillon threatened that federal authorities could intervene in New York if Mamdani fails to protect Jews. Observers say this raises the concern that the Justice Department is being used by the Trump administration to pressure Mamdani, an incoming elected official. Civil rights activists say Dillon's remarks risk undermining public trust in the government. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has called for stripping America's largest Muslim civil rights organization of its tax-exempt status. He has sent a letter to the U.S. Treasury Secretary claiming that the Council on American-Islamic Relations supports terrorism and is tied to the Muslim Brotherhood while acting as a front for Hamas. CAIR has strongly rejected the accusations, calling Abbott's claims false and politically motivated. Experts say Abbott is pushing unconstitutional measures to target CAIR because the organization has won several lawsuits against his administration. CAIR says it expects to defeat him again in court. Last month, Abbott issued a proclamation labeling CAIR and the Muslim Brotherhood as terrorist organizations. That move allowed the state to block them from buying land in Texas. Failed far-right candidate Valentina Gomez is trying to make a comeback in Texas by launching a virulently Islamophobic campaign. In one anti-Muslim video that sparked instant outrage, the immigrant from Colombia promised to kick every dirty Muslim out of Texas. The line spread across social media within minutes and drew condemnation for promoting hate. Known mainly for attention-seeking stunts like burning copies of the Quran, Gomez used her announcement to attack Muslims, immigrants, and anyone she labels illegals. Observers say her message sounded like a call for religious cleansing and accuse her of using hate speech to gain relevance. Users have responded by mocking her long record of failed campaigns and said she survives on provocation, not support. Journalists have pointed out that even Republicans have repeatedly rejected her. The Trump administration is warning Democratic-led states that they may lose key food assistance funds next week if they do not send the personal data of all recipients. Officials want names, social security numbers, addresses, birth dates, and immigration status. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins threatens that states will be blocked from the billions needed to run the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, if they refuse. She claims the data is required to fight fraud. SNAP helps more than 42 million low-income Americans buy food. Benefits to individuals will not be cut, but losing administrative funds could delay payments and push some families off the rolls. Several Democratic states, including New York and California, say the demand is illegal. A federal judge has already issued an injunction. Observers say the move is part of a broader push to cut food assistance and target immigrant communities. Democratic lawmakers are pushing for the Artificial Intelligence Civil Rights Act. Details coming up next. Welcome back. The Pentagon's Inspector General has confirmed that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth shared sensitive strike details in a Signal group chat. The messages discussed planned United States attacks on Yemen's Houthi group. Reports say this created real risks to operational security. Fox News says the Watchdog warned the leaks could have led to failed missions. They could also have endangered United States pilots. A classified report has already gone to the Senate Armed Services Committee. A public, redacted version is expected on Thursday. The investigation focused on Hegseth's use of the encrypted app in March. At the time, Trump administration officials were discussing strike timelines in the chat. The Pentagon has not commented on the findings. Democratic lawmakers are pushing for the Artificial Intelligence Civil Rights Act. First introduced last year, the bill aims to protect individual rights and stop discrimination in automated systems. The representatives say biased AI systems are hurting Black Americans and other marginalized groups, warning that there is almost no oversight. They note that studies show clear racial bias, where Black applicants are more likely to be rejected for mortgages. AI tools have also been found to misdiagnose women and screened out resumes from Black men. Congresswoman Yvette Clarke called discrimination by machines unacceptable, noting that people should not lose jobs, housing, or bank loans because of flawed algorithms. Senator Ed Markey said biased data produces biased results, calling it the AI garbage problem. Civil rights leaders are backing the bill, saying that AI reflects generations of discrimination. They warn that the Trump administration is ignoring the issue and are urging Congress to act now. Venezuela says 570 migrants have returned from the United States. They arrived on 2 flights that landed in the city of Maracaibo on Wednesday. Foreign Minister Ivan Gil welcomed them at the airport. Officials say repatriation flights are now back on schedule. They will operate every Wednesday and Friday. The flights run between Phoenix, Arizona, and Maracaibo near Venezuela's capital, Caracas. They had been taking place twice a week this year, but Venezuela briefly halted the program after President Donald Trump declared that Venezuelan airspace should be considered closed on Saturday. His post caused confusion among airlines and officials. Trump's remarks were seen as another escalation in tension between Washington and Caracas. They came as the United States expanded its military presence across Latin America, including Marines, warships, jets, submarines, and drones. Venezuela says it will continue bringing its migrants home despite the political pressure. Israel launches new strikes on Gaza, the occupied West Bank, and southern Lebanon on Thursday, despite the Israel-Hamas ceasefire as well as a truce with Lebanon. Israeli soldiers have killed at least 6 Palestinians in Gaza in the past 24 hours. 16 others were injured as strikes hit crowded areas and camps for displaced families. Israel killed 5 more Palestinians, including 2 children, in Al-Mawasi refugee camp. Their tents caught fire after the attack. Medical teams say these strikes violate the ceasefire with Hamas, which has been in place since October 10th. Meanwhile, Israeli media reports the killing of Yasser Abu Shabab, who led a militia accused of stealing humanitarian aid under Israeli protection. Israel received the body of Thai prisoner Sutisak Ridin Thalak, leaving 1 prisoner's remains still unreturned. In the occupied West Bank, Israeli soldiers raided neighborhoods near Hebron and arrested the mayor of Al-Samu, Ibrahim Mahmoud Ahmed Rawashadi. Across the border, Israel hit the Lebanese town of Jba, flattening a residential building and damaging nearby homes. Hamas called the latest attacks a war crime. Israel's genocide in Gaza has killed more than 70,000 people, mostly women and children, and injured nearly 171,000 others since October 2023. The UN World Food Programme, or WFP, has received more than 3,000 tons of sunflower oil for the Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh. The shipment comes as camps face a severe food and funding crisis. The donation arrived under the Grain from Ukraine initiative in the city of Cox's Bazar, which is hosting over 1 million Rohingya refugees. Envoys from Sweden, Ukraine, and France handed over the aid along the country's southeastern coast. More than 1.2 million Rohingya fled Burma's genocide and now depend almost entirely on international support. The oil was produced in Ukraine. Sweden paid $7 million for procurement and transport. WFP says the crisis is deepening. Its Rohingya operation faces a funding gap of nearly $190 million. Most of that is needed for essential food and nutrition support. Without fresh funds, rations could be disrupted from April 2026. WFP thanked Ukraine, Sweden, France, and Bangladesh for standing with the Rohingya community. Yaqub Mirza, a key figure in shaping Islamic finance and Sharia-compliant investment in North America, died Thursday. He was 78. Born in 1946 in Karachi, before Pakistan's creation, Mirza migrated to the United States in the early 1970s. He completed his PhD in physics in 1974, followed by a master's degree in teaching science from the University of Texas at Dallas. He soon emerged as one of the early student activists advocating Islamic thought and ethical finance. In 1981, Mirza helped establish the International Institute of Islamic Thought in Herndon, Virginia. 3 years later, he co-founded the Amana Mutual Fund Trust, one of the earliest Sharia-compliant investment houses serving American Muslims. Mirza authored the widely read 5 Pillars of Prosperity and taught popular courses on Islamic finance with The First Investor. Since 1998, he led Sterling Management Group as its president and CEO. He also served on the boards of the University Islamic Financial Corporation and the George Mason University Foundation. Tributes describe him as a visionary who built institutions that shaped faith-based investing in the United States. A new study from Japan has found that a drug commonly used to treat constipation may help slow kidney damage. Researchers discovered that lubiprostone can protect kidney function in people with chronic kidney disease. Chronic kidney disease affects millions, with many patients eventually needing dialysis as there are no approved drugs that restore kidney function. In the study, scientists noticed that the constipation often appears with kidney disease. They tested whether treating the common problem could help the kidneys. Researchers found that patients who took lubiprostone showed a slower drop in their kidney filtration rate compared with those on placebo. They say the drug may boost helpful gut bacteria and improve energy production in cells, as well as possibly reducing further kidney damage. A large phase 3 trial is planned, which researchers hope may lead to more personalized treatment for kidney patients. That's all from our Toronto studios. Thank you for watching Muslim News. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our channel. You can donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV. Salam.